process. Now, I don't, you know, if we decide to begin the process, that's fine, but the process is not us imposing a penalty. The process is us having a public hearing. And at the public hearing, the Verizon comes and brings in their comments as to why they should not be penalized. Okay, the public comes and says why they should be penalized. Okay, it is a process that will probably take the better part of, well, I don't know, I need to check on how long it will take, but it's not something we can do today. We can vote certainly to begin the process, to have the open public hearings, and we'll start doing that. I really think we ought to wait till the next meeting. I really think that Verizon has delivered on what we've insisted they should deliver on, except for the hookup, and that is beyond their control right now. Now, if Comcast, problem is what happens if Comcast brags and refuses to let Verizon hook up, then we're gonna penalize Verizon in the next 2 weeks. So, you know, I have really read the riot act to Verizon for the way they've for not getting this done in time and for not having Comcast. But by the same token, I specifically spoke to Comcast, and Comcast told me there would be no trouble. Now, a week later, they have not responded to Verizon. And those are the facts. I'm just offering the facts.
I was going to make a comment.
Yeah, okay.
I think that the solution to this is to call and bring in both the Verizon and the Comcast public relations people into your office. I'd be glad to meet with them and have a frank discussion with both of them. Because if we can't get cooperation, then, you know, we're going to be weighing a Comcast contract pretty soon too.
Absolutely.
And it's essential that these services be provided by both vendors. So they have to work together. And I guess, Joe, my feeling is, although I haven't been happy with Verizon from the point of view of them keeping to their dates, they did get up, they did get the wiring in, they did get the instrumentation into the high school by the 31st. And although they didn't go the the last yard, because that involves cooperation with a competitor, I think we ought to at least talk to the reps and get them in the same room together and see if we can move it along. And then if we can't, then I think it's time to put our cards on the table and call them to the carpet on the pine. And I think Phil is right, the contract says it's a process, so
Right.
we could move to initiate the process, and I wouldn't have a problem voting in favor of that, with the first step being trying to get the parties together and see if we can facilitate an agreement between them.
If I may, Mr. Chair, thank you, Mr. Dadino. I wasn't sure of the process. I figured they had a good process. What, in that case, what I would ask to do the board, I would ask the board to do, excuse me, is to start that process tonight. I will make a motion to have a hearing on Verizon. If we do this tonight, when Verizon comes in and sits down with Mr. Valiakonis and Comcast, they're gonna know we're serious. In my opinion, if we don't do this tonight, they're gonna come in, they're gonna yell, blah, 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 we'll do this, we'll do that. And they know they're gonna buy another month or so. So what I would like to see the board, I agree, I mean, I know there's I know now that we have a definite process. I would like to see us start that process of calling Verizon in on a hearing, and that's not gonna happen in 2 weeks, I know that. And in the meantime, Mr. Valiakonis can have this meeting, and I think Verizon is gonna take that meeting a lot more serious if we start this action tonight. That's my opinion.
I would agree if we made a motion to both of them, begin process on both of them. I would agree with that.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I can't, because Comcast never came before us and said, we are going to give them the rights. Comcast never did that. So no, I don't hold Comcast at fault on this, Mr. Dadino. I just can't. I just can't do it. I mean, Comcast has not agreed to give up those rights to Verizon. Verizon stood here and said they have to, they will. And unfortunately, we bought it. So I think we should go forward, set up the hearing process, this is my opinion, and then have that meeting. And then maybe it'll get solved right at that hearing, and maybe it'll be on TV by then, if this happens. We gotta put some teeth into this, or it'll never happen.
That's your hand. Yes, Mr. O'Leary.
I concur with most everything that's been said by everybody.
Can't do that.
Other than the timetable. I think the idea of facilitating a meeting between the Comcast and Verizon representative and the town administrator is a good idea. And let them know that I'd be in favor of supporting moving forward with the process, whatever that process is. Again, I don't feel in a position to vote that this evening, because I don't even know what it is. I wouldn't know how to call for it, show cause hearing for what, based on the contract language, because I don't have it in front of me. Not that I ever anticipated having to do this, but I would be in favor of doing that at our next meeting, which is on the 20th, and informing Verizon that that's our intended action, is to set up a public hearing, show cause hearing as to why we shouldn't start the binding process, or whatever the process calls for. So I'd be in support of that. And if there is something in the Comcast documents and contract that allows us to do the same thing, simultaneously set up the public hearing for them also at the same time.
Why I had suggested getting them together in the same room and trying to understand what the issues are.
Right.
That Comcast may have some legal standing
Right.
associated with what they're doing, we don't know.
Right.
So, I thought at least
But
we'd
in
try
the
to get the
meantime,
facts
I
out.
think,
And the
there's
issue is,
there's
if I may,
some-
the issue isn't really that they don't have concerns. They're entitled to concerns, and I said this from day one. They have concerns, they're entitled to concerns. The issue is that it's been over a week, okay, and they have not expressed the concerns. They have not made return phone calls. They have not called me, okay, despite the number of times that I've called them, okay? I shouldn't say no one in Comcast has called me. I get calls back from Jane Lyman, who's the liaison here and the one I've dealt with up to now here in North Reading. But she's deferred this issue to her boss, who's in New Hampshire, okay, and he has yet to return my call. And that's inappropriate. I mean, totally inappropriate, because again, I'm not taking sides in this. I've made it clear I'm not taking sides, but I made it clear that all I care is to represent the people of North Reading, to get this done for the people of
What's
North
the
Reading.
Comcast
I'd
rep's
like
name? What's her name?
Jane Lyman.
Jane?
Jane Lyman. I think that's I'll come in, if we can put this off to the next agenda, the next meeting, I will come in with a document telling us exactly which steps we need to take on both, as far as the public hearings are concerned, and what they mean.
But again,
Okay,
Verizon
so-
has obviously dropped the ball on this from the get-go as far as the timelines and all the rest. So there's some culpability there, whether they've changed personnel or not, shouldn't enter into the equation. And they dropped the ball. But again, to their credit, and with the heat, the feet to the fire, they did step up to the plate and put a 75-day job done and credited it to 30 days. So they have made an effort to comply with our wishes based upon our listening. But I concur with Mr. Vito at this point. So let's see what we have for recourse. Let's see, we'll get some explanation from them, and it can be resolved beforehand, all the better.
Okay, so Mr. Vino has made a motion.
No,
Oh, okay.
I
Made a
was going
suggestion,
to, but
you were going to.
I was going to, but I can see it's not gonna pass, so I was gonna make
Next
a motion
meeting.
to.
But I would actually, I still think it would behoove us to make a call to the representatives. And I'm not talking about there's a fellow at the State House who, has said to me personally when I've met him, if there are any issues, give him a call. And see if we can get the appropriate two people in the same room and find out what the real issues are and see in fact if they're resolvable. If they're not, we'll be talking about this next meeting, or the meeting after.
In the meantime, Mr. Vito, let's keep the pressure on Verizon to do whatever they have to do in order to get it done.
I'll come to the next meeting with the answers as to the questions about what procedures are and all that.
Mr. Chairman, you might want to get a consensus of the board for the town administrator to.
Right, I guess I don't have that.
You know, that we intend on moving forward with whatever
You are.
process calls.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Joe?
It-
So you have Greg get the parties together and try to,
Oh, no,
Find out what
definitely,
the
it's
issues
not
are.
gonna do any good, but I am.
And also inform them that on our next meeting, we're gonna start whatever
Go ahead.
process is available to us.
Go for it.
I'll call them tomorrow.
okay? All right. Thank you. Mr. Mr. Vino, I'm sorry, Mr. Didino.
What do you want? You
You're
want a motion?
excused.
I'll make a motion after Phil leaves.
Take care, everyone, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, let's see if we can get through the
Get
rest
outta
of
here,
these
get
things.
outta here
So
before
we
11.
have
Let's try to,
our
Bob
town
wants to go
council
home.
here
we-
waiting for another executive session. Veterans Day proclamation. Do we have that?
yeah, wait a minute, let me see if I have it.
Thanks
I
again.
have it left.
Here you go, Bob, yeah. You can read the motion.
Okay.
Have fun.
Take care, everybody. See you.
Drive safe.
Uh,
No, I just gave it?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
All right. I'll read the proclamation.
want to read the motion?
Okay. Mr. Vino.
You want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move to read the attached Veterans Day proclamation.
Motion made by Mr. Vino, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. I will read and sign the proclamation. Proclamation, whereas the willingness of our citizens to give freely and unselfishly of themselves, even their lives, in defense of our democratic principles, gives this great nation continued strength and vitality. From Lexington and Concord to the war in Iraq and to war and peace, valiant Americans have answered the call to duty with honor and dignity. And whereas Americans throughout this great land set aside Veterans Day for special remembrance of the men and women who have served and are serving to protect our freedom, the sound of bugles playing taps will pierce the ear at countless ceremonies around the country in tribute to those who gave their lives in order to safeguard our liberty. And whereas on this special day, our hearts and thoughts also turn to those who were disabled while serving their country. Their sacrifices and hardships endure and daily earn anew the honor and compassion of a grateful nation. And whereas with a spirit of pride and gratitude, we honor all our veterans and especially those who have fought on the battlefields of Europe and the beaches of the Pacific, the jungles and mountains of Southeast Asia, the Persian Gulf, in Iraq, and in Afghanistan, and in hostile waters and skies around the globe. And whereas I ask that we devote special attention to those veterans who are sick and disabled, let us show them through our actions that we remember and honor them. There could be no better nor more tangible expression of our gratitude. Now therefore, I, Robert Messeri, Chairman of the North Reading Board of Selectmen, do hereby invite the citizens of North Reading to join with me in a fitting salute on Veterans Day, November 11, 2006. I urge all of our citizens to recognize the valor and sacrifice of our veterans through the appropriate public ceremonies and private prayers. I also call upon the citizens of North Reading to display the flag of the United States and to encourage and participate in patriotic activities throughout the Commonwealth. I invite the business community, churches, schools, civic and fraternal organizations, and the local media to support this national observance with suitable commemorative expressions and programs. Signed, Chairman of the Board. This is
Okay. I didn't type it, so.
no, but you might as well get it fixed before I sign it.
That's right. I'll prepare it and have it ready for Wednesday.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, let's see where are we.
It might be appropriate to mention the ceremonies that are going to take place.
Yes, the ceremony is going to take place on the Common at 11 o'clock sharp on Saturday morning, and I will read the proclamation at the ceremony. Of course, all the board members have been invited. Legal bills,
Mr. Chairman,
we don't want to pay them, do we?
well, we have to, he's here. He'll sue us. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve legal bills for September 2006 in the sum of $7,000.